what it is Quick is trying to say.
We're about to talk some comics and get a little bit controversial. Everything from indie books to movie deal level commercial. With no rehearsals when we converse to coerce you. And then we do the quick takes and try to get to the person. So join us and get your comic book a few more sales once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales. Once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics in collaboration with Fourth Wall Productions respectfully brings to you the 199th episode of the Four Tales podcast. I am your host, Kyrun Silva from Taurus Comics. Across the way is a yellow creative writer. I'm trying to think what else you do.
That's it. I only write. I don't
Well,
do
no, you
anything
do
else.
podcasts or streams. You do. You are a quiz host in a way.
Yeah.
The amazing Sarah White of Definite Article Creative. And together we are your two comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live via Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So if you're listening or watching us live, thank you for your support. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast because all your positive reviews, interactions help us reach a bigger audience. And yes, audience, Danny is not here again for the second time in a row. He is chilling in Charlotte, North Carolina for Heroes Con this weekend, having a bunch of fun without me because I didn't want to pay my plane ticket from California to North Carolina again because it's too expensive. So Sarah was gracious enough to join in on the fun. So thank you for that.
Anytime. It's been a minute since I've been here and never as a host.
You're actually making history. You are the first female guest host we've ever had. I know.
I'm touched.
I know. Are you touched by an angel?
Touched by an angel, sure. But you had last week you had Uncle Fish on, right?
Yes.
And so you're having a good lineup of guest hosts, if I can include myself in that.
Sure.
You can't not have a good time when Fish is on the show.
No.
So even when he's in the comments, he's awesome.
I don't want to find the person that does not like Fish. Like, honestly.
No.
Like, if you don't like Fish, there's something wrong with you. Just straight up. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah, you always gotta be like, wait, I need more details. Why? What exactly happened here?
Like, do you not just like random words being blurted out? Do you not like amazing art? Do you not like a jolly laugh? Like, what is it that you don't like about Fish Lee? Because if you are the person, that 1% of the person out there that does not like Fish Lee, please stop watching the show because there's something wrong with you. I don't want to know. But like you said, it's been a minute since you've been here. So for anyone that's maybe not familiar with you, give us a breakdown of who you are and what you do.
All right. Well, I am the founder of Definite Article. I guess it's been a couple years now. I left my old studio, started a new one of my own, and now we publish, what are we at? 5 titles, I think.
Nice.
Which is pretty cool. I do a little drawing. It's not great. I host my own live stream. It's called Critical Affection. I got Fred Schwartz is on there. If y'all are Fisticuffs fans, Fred's on there. And Brian, the co-writer of Granica, one of our titles.
Yep.
And then Amanda's on there too. Critic extraordinaire, Amanda. And
it does feel like your team there just keeps growing.
It does.
Because there was just you and Brian at one point, right?
It was just Brian and me, yeah. And then Amanda joined because we changed the time and then she was able to.
Okay.
And then we just kind of adopted Fred. Like, we came in and Amanda just destroyed his favorite movie in the world. And then Fred's just like, can I come back next week? And then we just kind of adopted him into the crew. So yeah, he's one of us now.
I might have missed that episode. What was his favorite movie?
Clerks. He loves Clerks. And then now Kevin Davis is he's been showing up more and more because we've been doing a lot of horror movies lately. He's trying to traumatize me with clowns. Not crazy about that, but you know. And when we do the trivia quiz, is that at the end of that where we do the trivia is in relation to whatever topic we talk about, and then I draw a picture as I make a sticker out of it. That's to try to get better and faster at drawing, and also have a little prize. And so if you think it's good, then you're really winning something. If you think it sucks, then don't play the quiz, I guess.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one day you can have our guest, our guest. What is a guest? Our guest on
Some
your
kind of bird, probably.
It's like a booby. Have you ever seen a booby bird?
I have seen a booby, yes. I've also have you seen a great tit? I've seen one of those.
Yes, I have. All right. We're going to have the amazing Mark Poulton on the show. I need to ask now, since we're bringing this up, Mark, what is your favorite bird?
Oh, man. I have no idea. How about the crow?
Okay.
That's a classic choice.
All right. Well, thank you for being on, Mark. We appreciate you. For anyone that's not familiar with you and your work, do you mind giving us a brief rundown of who you are and what you've done?
Sure. This is my 20th year in the comic book industry. I got my start in 2006 writing my own creator-owned title called Coney Waves. It was published through Arcana Studio, and I did that for a couple years. While I was writing Coney Waves, I ended up getting hired to be the vice president of production at Arcana Studio. At the time, they were Canada's largest comic book publisher. No, I'm not Canadian. I live in New Jersey. But during that time, I was the vice president of production for about 3 or 4 years. We put out over 300 graphic novels, stuff like Cade, Howard Lovecraft and the Frozen Kingdom, Don Bluth's Dragon's Lair. But my work on Coney Waves caught the attention of my teenage hero, Rob Liefeld. I was a fan over on his message board, and he took notice of the work I was doing on Coney Waves. And I remember it like it was yesterday. It was Thanksgiving morning, 2006. I got a phone call, and from a number I didn't recognize. I answered it, and on the other end, I hear, "Poulton, it's Liefeld. What's up?" He tracked my phone number down from other people on his message board, and he gave me a call, and he talked my ear off for 2 hours on Thanksgiving morning, just telling me like all these amazing stories, but mostly how like I reminded him of I reminded him of a younger version of him, and he wanted to work with me. And he was thinking about bringing his character Evangeline back, and he wanted me to be the writer of it. So that was 2006. That Evangeline series didn't happen until 2011. And I swear the only reason that series happened is because I would not let it die. He nicknamed me the squeaky wheel because I was always like, "When are we doing this Evangeline series, Rob?"
Nice.
And finally he gave in. We did the Evangeline series at Image Comics 2011. It lasted for about a year, and after it ran for a year, it carried over to Keenspot as a web series, and it amassed a readership over 500,000 readers, which I had no idea at the time about web comics, but it blew my mind that many people were reading our book because our print numbers were about 4,000 copies, which at that time, like Image was, I guess, kind of in a lull. Like right now, it's probably at its best since the 90s. But that like 2011 period was a little slow for them. So like when we were hitting 500,000 readers, it blew my mind. From there, Rob took me with him to DC Comics, New 52. He was doing a bunch of titles, and he took me with him. We worked on Savage Hawkman. I got to work with an absolute dream team, Rob, Joe Bennett, Art T-Bear, amazing talent. And after that run, I dove into more creator-owned stuff. My son was 7 at the time, and he came up with this idea that I thought was the most amazing thing I ever heard of. We were having pizza and he told me he knew where pizza came from. And I was like, oh yeah, tell me. And he goes, it's simple. You plant a slice of pepperoni and a pizza tree grows from it. And I was like, this needs to be a comic book. So we made it into an all ages kids horror graphic novel called Pizza Tree. And this was 2017. My son was 7. It got nominated for a Ringo Award. It won the Moonbeam Award for Best Kids Graphic Novel. And it even we got interest from Hollywood about it. I don't know if you guys are fans of Monster Squad, but Ryan Lambert, the actor who played Rudy, I met him at a convention. I gave him a copy. He read it on the flight home, and he tracked me down through social media like weeks later and said, hey, ever since I've read this book, I can't stop thinking about it. I want to help you and your son bring it to the screen. I was like, this is amazing. And at the same time, this director, Todd Lincoln, who worked on VHS Viral, the Sebastian Stan horror movie Apparitions, he had saw the book in Diamond's previews. And he tracked me down, and he was like, ever since I read the synopsis of this book, I've been mesmerized by it. I want to help you guys make it. I said, well, we're working with Ryan Lambert. And he goes, I love Monster Squad. So I had Todd Lincoln and Ryan Lambert for years trying to make this into a movie. It never happened. I don't say it's dead yet. Ryan's still very enthusiastic about it, but when all this was happening, my son and I was like, we should take this like self-publishing serious. And we formed a company. We formed Haunted Pizza LLC. And ever since then, the last 9 years, we've just strictly been self-publishing our books through crowdfunding. And all our properties combined have crowdfunded over $1 million. We have books like Graveyard Shift, U.S. Assassin, Viking Wolf, Sea Dog, Loose Threads, and now we have our book that we currently have on Kickstarter, Hostile Assets. There's one constant thing in all our books. We just try to make the most fun books around. Nothing too serious. Just over the top action and beautiful artwork and beautiful colors. So that's my career, the short version of it.
One thing I've realized in your short version is that a lot of people track you down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, is it that easy to find you? Is that what's going on?
I do. I'm on pretty much all the social media. I do have a website, so I am easy to find.
Okay. All right.
And most people remember the hair too. If they're looking for me online, if they see my picture, they see the spiked hair and they know it's me.
I used to have hair just like that. Daryl Murphy in the chat says, I'm interested in this book already. And if you're looking for an artist, Mark, Daryl Murphy is an amazing artist. He's actually worked with a lot of big name creators himself. But if you need somebody, please reach out to him too.
Nice.
All right. But you're here though to talk about a different book. Nothing about what you mentioned. You're here to talk about Hostile Assets. Then what's that about?
Yeah. So last year, one of the books I launched was a new series called Gun Goth. It's kind of a mix between Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Resident Evil. And while that campaign was running, another publisher reached out to me, Alfred Page, from Page One Comics, and he was like,
Alfred's been on our show many times, actually.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, I love Alfred, and he reached out to me and was like, "Tell me about Gun Goth. I love her. I love the look of her." And I gave him the pitch, and he was like, "I have this female character, Footpath, and would you be interested in a crossover?" And at the time, I was really swamped with projects. I wasn't looking to take anything on, but then Alfred said the magic words. He says, I see them, Footpath and Gun Goth, as the female version of Grifter and Backlash. I see this as a female, the Kindred, which was a huge Wildstorm crossover in the 90s. And once you start speaking that 90s comic language, I'm all in. So I was like, Yes, I love this idea. Tell me your idea. So he gave me a story, and he was like, "How do you want to do this?" And I was like, "Well, um, already had an artist in mind." I was like, "Well, I love the artist you have. How about you handle art? I'll handle colors and letters." So it really is a true collaboration between Page One and Haunted Pizza. We got some of their staff working on the book, some of my staff, and it's these two deadly heroines, Gungoth, Footpath. They're teaming up to stop a uh, a drug derived from zombie blood from hitting the black market, and it plays to both of their strengths. Gungoth, much like a lot of my books, I think my best books anyway. A lot of action, but also a lot of horror elements into it, and this definitely plays up to that. So yeah, we launched the campaign early May. We're in the last couple days of the campaign on Kickstarter. Although we will be taking late pledges, but the book is looking fantastic. It's a 60-page graphic novel, artwork by Edson Alves, colors by Anthony George, 6 different covers to choose from, and there's some of that gorgeous artwork
Yeah.
by Edson Alves. Definitely 90s influenced, if you can't tell.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like what's that character from Top Cow?
Oh,
Aphrodite?
Aphrodite X. I've been hearing that. Yeah. So the thing with Gungoth is when we created the character, we wanted her to change her look up a lot throughout the issue. So in the first issue, she goes through 3 different looks, but the one everyone gravitates towards is that trench coat and green hair.
Nice. So with this seemingly doing really well, I mean, you've already funded. You have 3 days left, a little bit less than 3 days, but you're more than funded.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to maybe start reaching out to other indie creators and maybe do more collaborations?
Possibly. I know Alfred. He has several ideas he wants to do with me. I said let's. Alfred is a hustler. He has so many fires going on, so many different projects, and I was like, well, let's get this done, and then we'll talk about the next one. Because I don't like having outstanding projects. I have to complete it and then fulfill it before I can commit to anything else. But yeah, definitely, I see a possibility of doing more books in the future, more crossovers.
Yeah, I love this crossover with a blowtorch and this character.
Yeah. So that's U.S. Assassin. So
that's right.
Besides just Gungoth and Footpath crossing over in this, we wanted to make it do a little bit of a world building. So characters from his universe are in it, characters from my universe, and we hint that U.S. Assassin and Blowtorch, their paths have crossed before. They have a bit of a history. So if there was another crossover between the 2 publishers, I think it's a good bet that would be the one that it is.
I'm glad you brought up U.S. Assassin. So when I was looking at the research from you, I noticed with U.S. Assassin there was a connection with Roddy Piper.
Yes. So U.S. Assassin is sort of my love letter to G.I. Joe. Okay. And G.I. Joe has Sergeant Slaughter. I wanted like my Sergeant Slaughter. And I had a friend who was doing a comic book with Roddy Piper's estate. And I was like, do you think you could introduce me to Roddy's wife? And he was like, sure, I don't see why not. And I told him my idea of what I wanted to do. And he introduced me to Kitty, Roddy's wife. I pitched my idea of how I wanted Roddy to be a mentor to the U.S. Assassin team. And she loved the idea. She granted me a license to Roddy Piper. So in volume 40, Roddy Piper shows up as the trainer of the new recruits. And while he's there, they take on a mission to space. And of course, Roddy, signs up sight unseen, is like, yeah, I'm going with you guys. So he takes off to space with the U.S. assassin team to rescue one of their teammates, and that started our relationship with the Roddy Piper estate. Roddy Piper was my I'm a huge wrestling fan, but I never liked the good guys. I liked the bad guys. So
All
when
the heels.
everyone my age was all about Hulk Hogan and Hulkamania, no, I loved Roddy Piper. And so having Roddy Piper in my comic book, it was just a dream come true. And his family's been so supportive. They retweet everything that we do. And I'm hoping it's not just a one and done deal, that we can keep this reoccurring with Roddy Piper.
And it's just great that you're able to keep that part of his legacy going, just keep him in the public eye, because
Yeah.
he's such an influential force when it comes to wrestling, especially from the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, even though he had a very short acting career, people will just love him for what he did for the wrestling.
Oh yeah, I mean, They Live has become such an iconic movie. I think there's a lot of people who know him from They Live and not from wrestling.
Yeah. So once Hostile Assets is done, because that, like we said, that's already been funded.
Yeah.
What's next for you? What's next for Mark?
So I have another book with my son Chase. It's called the Universal's Initiative, and this is a project that that's been in the works for over a decade. When I finished up on Hawkman, this studio in Mexico reached out to me and my friend artist John Malin, who was working on Youngblood for Rob Liefeld. And this studio, they were huge Youngblood and Rob Liefeld fans, so they reached out to like two of his, I don't know, pupils to help them kickstart this comic book universe that they were creating called the Universals. And John and I, we did 50 pages of story for them. We created all these characters, and the studio was owned by two people. One of them is an architect. That's where his money comes from. But the other owns a chain of restaurants in Mexico called Comic X, and they're superhero themed restaurants. They put one in Arizona. I'm not sure if it's still around, but they took our characters and they made them into like life-size statues in these restaurants in Mexico, which blew my mind. So they had big plans for this. And then COVID happened, and it took their careers in different directions. The one who was an architect became incredibly busy building all these hospitals, and the one who owns the restaurant chain, he was fighting to keep his business alive with everything shutting down. So the Universals just lay dormant for years, and the one owner kept tabs on me and John and saw what we were doing, especially me with crowdfunding, and he was always very supportive. So I was really proud of the work we did, and I hit him up and said, "Hey, could I, if you guys don't have any plans for this, could I acquire the work John and I did and release it, because it's never been released before?" And he was like, "Mark, I would love that. I would love to. I mean, I love the work you did. I love these characters. I would love for you to get them out to people." So I acquired the 50 pages John and I did. I brought my son on, and we rewrote the entire story using the established artwork. But then we brought on another artist, Dan Dahl, who's he does a lot of cover work for Rippaverse, if you're familiar with them. And Dan's an amazing artist. And we turned this into a 64-page graphic novel. It's book one in a 3-book series, and it's about a group of heroes in Mexico who their age of superheroes was birthed by this gem called the Life Stone, and it came from far away. An alien brought it to Earth, and this birthed this age of heroism in the world, in this universe. But the Life Stone belonged to these twin tyrants who have tracked it down to Earth now, and our heroes on Earth have been given a warning that the twin tyrants are coming. So they need more heroes. So they have to gather heroes from all over to fight basically this army of ruthless villains. So it's an amazing story, beautiful artwork. John worked on Cable, Thunderbolts for Marvel. Dan Dahl is an incredible artist doing tons of covers for Rippaverse. And I got to work with my son again. My son goes through phases where he's all about comics, and then he's like, I'm too cool for that. I mean, when you win a Ringo or nominated for a Ringo Award at the age of 7, I mean, you start out on top, you know? So he gets a little bored with comics, but I was so excited to work with him again on this project. That's going to be my next thing. And the book is 100% done.
Nice.
So I think after Hostile Assets, we're just going to throw it up for pre-orders for a couple months and then send it off to the printer. We got covers by John Malin, Joe Bennett, Deborah Carita, and Rob Liefeld. And the Rob Liefeld cover is going to be for an oversized edition of the book.
So your son, he's still not even an adult yet, right?
Yeah, he's 16.
He
just turned 16. Yeah, he's lived an incredible life so far. But I don't know. So he went to his very first Comic-Con when he was 2 months old. So I think he just always thought, oh, Dad makes comics. That's just what people do. I'll make comics. Maybe I'll do something else. I don't know. But he's now he's into like music and guitar. So we'll see what he does. But for the times he does want to work for me, I really value it.
Danny is in the chat, so that must mean that Heroes Con is over for today. So he's here, and Sarah and him have switched shows for the week. So
yeah, we kind of did. Yeah, he was over on my show, and I was sick, so I wasn't there. And now he's unable to be on his show, and here I am. I don't know how that happened. It was whatever.
I did look it up. Unfortunately, the Comics X in Arizona has closed down, but the one in Mexico is still open. So if you're ever in the area, check it out, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah, it looks incredible from the pictures.
Yeah. Well, this is probably a good time for us to actually go into everybody's favorite part of the show, which is quick takes. So, Sarah, are you ready?
Sure.
I mean,
I literally copied what Danny says from a previous episode where he introduces this, so I'm just going to read that.
All right, so hold on. Let me do the intro then.
Quick takes.
All right, so if you are not familiar with our show, never seen our show before, Quick Takes is a rapid fire section, usually hosted by Danny. This is his part. But basically, we're going to give you 5 questions. Each question you're going to have 45 seconds to answer. And Sarah has scoured the internet just like all your stalkers have. Personal information.
And your phone number, though. Rob's a big old creeper. He found your phone number.
Seriously. Yeah, go ahead. Take it away, Sarah.
All right. Yeah, this is the homework that Kyrun made me do for this show. So, all right. Question number 1. You named your business Haunted Pizza. So what exactly is a haunted pizza?
It would be an animated slice. It comes from a pizza tree. At the end, there's one slice left over, and he's sort of our company mascot.
Okay. So does he have a name? Does the haunted pizza name?
Home Slice.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Makes sense. Don't know what I was expecting there. But fair enough. Okay. I feel like there's a fascinating story behind haunted pizza that's more than just that. So that's another show. You can come onto my show sometime and we'll talk about that more.
Sounds good.
Okay. So second question. I was looking at your Instagram and I saw that you go and see a lot of bands that play in intimate venues, but you also go to a lot of larger arenas. So what's your favorite type of venue to go see one of these bands?
I like the smaller ones because there's a possibility you can like meet the band at the merch stand. And my fiance and I, we collect signed vinyls, and she collects set lists. So our office is decorated with signed vinyls and set lists. She's amazing. She makes it her mission. She'll tell me, she goes, "I'm coming home with the set list," and she usually does. Most recent one, we went to see Fozzy, Chris Jericho's band. She left with the set list.
So
But
she came back with the list?
yeah,
Did she get it signed by anybody?
no. Sometimes she does. Fozzy didn't like. They didn't mingle around with the people after the show. But yeah, I like the smaller venues. But big arena is amazing as well. I took my son like a week ago to see 5 Seconds of Summer in Hershey, and that was amazing. We were probably like two of a handful of men there, but it was amazing
Not what I expected you
show.
were gonna say. I guess I just assumed that all these things kind of skew either 50-50 or more guys. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
I don't actually know that band, so I guess I, reserve the right to be wrong on that.
Yeah.
I don't know any bands, so.
I like the story that I keep telling about going see a band was Frank Turner and the Sleeping Souls. We went to that in Madison, Wisconsin, and the drummer, I can't remember his name, Nigel, I think is his name. He flung a drum head out, and it smacked me right in the gourd, and then some other girl just snatched it up and wouldn't give it to me. I was like, dude, he literally gave me a concussion. Don't I at least deserve the drum head? And then I tweeted him, and he actually answered. And he's like, "Next time you're at a show, I'll give you something new." So he gave me sticks once.
nice.
It was pretty cool. All right, next question.
Yep.
What was the next question? Okay. Next question is: are you ever going to go to another Phillies game after they slipped a shot of you eating ice cream into their commercial?
So yes, definitely. I love baseball. I love the Phillies. But the thing that gets me, I worked so hard over the last year. I'm getting married this November, so I wanted to look good. I lost 50 pounds. But of course, I make it into the commercial, like stuffing my face with ice cream.
I mean,
Like,
I don't think anybody looked at you. I think they were looking at that really happy smiling child. But yeah,
yeah,
kind of did you dirty there.
yeah, definitely.
I had to look it up and see what it
Yeah.
was.
I saw it. It's like honestly, it's not that bad of a picture. Like, yeah, you are shoveling ice cream into your face, but it's not a bad picture.
Yeah. But yeah, so right next to me.
Profile.
Yeah, right next to me is my brother. He has Phillies season tickets, so he takes me every now and then. But yeah, I was at home watching the game, and then my fiance sent me a screenshot, and she said, "Did you know you're in a Phillies commercial?" And I was like, "What?" And she goes, "My friend just sent me this." And of course, so I sent it to my brother, and he finds the commercial on YouTube. The Phillies are hosting the All-Star game, so we made it into the All-Star game commercial, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, even if it isn't the most flattering.
No, not flattering at all.
Yeah, and I looked at it, and I thought, he doesn't have to worry. He looks fine in that. You look fine in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank
I was
you.
like, yeah, I was like, it is. I can definitely understand the self-consciousness, but you look fine in it, and nobody's looking at you anyway. They're looking at that adorable kid.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. So okay, what was my next question? I lost my spot. Okay, here we go. On my show, we talk movies and TV shows, and we've been talking a lot about horror lately. So in a nutshell, I noticed that you've got a lot of horror movie stuff up. So what is your opinion on the current state of horror movies in 45 seconds?
Oh man, I love Obsession, Backrooms. This indie horror that we're getting right now is amazing. but I'm also a fan of like slasher films. I was so excited for Scream 7. It let me down a little bit, but I can't wait for Terrifier 4. I just love horror. Every Sunday, the Haunted Pizza Horror Movie Club, my friends and I on YouTube, we review horror movies, usually terrible ones that you can find on Tubi. But yeah, the Backrooms and Obsession right now are incredible.
You know, that's interesting that you say that because I've heard nothing but like super polarizing stuff
Yeah.
for the Backrooms one. Like people either think it's garbage or they think it's amazing. There's not been a lot of lukewarm opinions on that, so that's interesting. And I'm dying to watch Iron Lung because I hear that one's great too.
Oh yeah, I love that as well. But my son was a fan of Markiplier, and I know I'm going over 45 seconds, sorry, but he made me watch like a couple hour playthrough of that video game, Iron Lung, and I feel like if you don't have all of that knowledge going into the movie, you're like, what is this?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, still gonna watch it, but maybe I won't get it. I don't know. And in your defense, I did ask you that, or I did like lead more than 45 seconds worth there, didn't I? All right. So the last question is always a top 5, and this is what's it? Top 5 in honor of Top 5 Live. Is that because you did the top 5 lists and top 5?
Yeah,
live?
I think that's why they have it. Rest in peace, Top 5 Live.
Morgan, what are you doing? Let's get Top 5 Live back. I watched that one like almost every single week, unless I was at whatever I was at late. Come on. Anyway, so what of your top 5 favorite monster trucks of all time, or your top 5 monster trucks of all time?
Okay, Bounty Hunter. I'm doing a book on Bounty Hunter. Actually, I just released a kid's book about the story of Bounty Hunter, but there's a graphic novel coming out as well. So Bounty Hunter, Bigfoot, Gravedigger, Velociraptor, and I'll say Monster Mutt.
Gravedigger was the one that I've known. Like that one's been around for a while, right? And it's the one that I think that if you know anything about monster trucks, you've heard of that one before.
Yep.
I thought, didn't Bigfoot come out before that though?
Yeah,
I remember that back in the 80s.
Yeah, Bigfoot's the very first monster truck, but I feel like Gravedigger may have surpassed its popularity.
Yeah, it's not that it's older. It's just that it's more famous for some reason.
Okay.
It took me a bit to get to like, I was like monster trucks, and I kept going into truck pulling and tractor pulling, and I was like, no, we're about trucks, monster trucks, not or pulling trucks. Yeah. We used to watch Art Our Funds and the Green Monster like twice a year. We used to go to the tractor pulls and
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you doing that, Mark. This week's Quick Takes were brought to you by 5-Star Comic Con. 5-Star Comic Con is less than, how many more days is it now? We have 8 days, 6 hours, 21 minutes, and 15 seconds to 5-Star Comic Con. Please come down to Dayton, Ohio to meet myself and Danny J. Quick and a bunch of other amazing comic creators for the 3rd annual comic convention. But we appreciate you being on, and we want to make sure that our followers and our listeners, follow you and everything that you're working on, Mark. So where's the best places online for them to do that?
You can find me on X and Instagram at Coney Waves, name of my first comic book. Also, I have my own YouTube channel, Primetime Poulton. Every Sunday, we talk horror movies on the Haunted Pizza Horror Movie Club. I have creators on as well to talk about their comic book projects. And I post a lot of Monster Truck shorts as well.
Okay. All right. And Sarah, I appreciate you again for being a guest host today. Where's the best places online for people to check you out and keep up with your work?
Facebook, Instagram, Threads, those are all at Definite Article Creative, and Blue Sky. I'm on Blue Sky at definitearticlecreative.com.
I need to hop on the Blue Sky. Everybody seems to be using it. I know Brett Booth is on there a lot. and I love his work, so I want to keep up with him.
I like how you can get on there and you can say stuff and it's not going to get suppressed. It doesn't like there's algorithm is completely different from like Facebook and Twitter and all them. Like it's totally different.
All right, I will check it out. You can find me at tauruscomics.com. And this, you can find me on all social media platforms at Taurus Comics. And this is the first time you've ever checked out the Four Tales podcast. You can go to our website, fourtalespodcast.com. That is the number 4, TALES podcast.com. All right. So next week, we are not having a show on Friday. Just so everybody knows, we will not be at our same bat time next week, Friday. We will have our show Saturday. We don't know the time yet because we're still working with the venue at 5 Star Comic Con to figure out when and where. But we're going to do a live show at the event somehow. We don't know how we're going to do this. We're going to do it somehow. So be on the lookout for that. Follow our social media platforms at Four Tales Podcast on all platforms. And we'll let you guys know as soon as we figure everything out. But that will be our live 200th episode at the 5 Star Comic Con. So we hope to see you guys there. What?
If I wasn't already feeling enough FOMO for not going to 5 Star Comic Con, and now you're just making it worse.
Sorry. I'm sorry. You can come to next year's event.
I really, really, really wanted to come this year, and I just couldn't make it work. But next year for sure.
Next year. All right, everybody. Well, join us next week, like I said. But until then, everybody, sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves.
Music provided by my brother, Quix Made It. Find him online in YouTube, Instagram, and SoundCloud.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.